Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode on Beyond the Barbell with your hosts, Larhanna Robinson, Nicole Zenobia Graham, and Lou Faustin. You guys, thank you so much for continuing to support our channel. We love you all so much. And today we are going to take a trip down memory lane in our own personal lives. Starting with, drum roll, please. Lou, let's go, Lou.
Okay, guys. So we're gonna talk a little bit about your first show experience, right? So before getting into the NPC or IFBB, I competed in Belgium, and it was with the Belgium Physique Federation, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I started out in fitness. Mind you,
so fitness.
What?
Listen,
What?
mind you, I have no dance experience.
Tell me more.
No gymnastic experience. I started out in fitness. So this routine, and I have it. I know where it is. But y'all not gonna see it. All right, yeah.
Come on.
I'm gonna send you guys. We can upload pictures, but you guys do not need to see this routine. I remember coming out to.
Not fair.
I remember coming out to Rihanna's "Rude Boy."
Please post.
That was my song, and then it sped up to some dance music, and I just remember whining on stage. and then there's some push-up variations that I was doing. Oh my God. And I won.
Well, that's good.
I won. I mean, ask me how many people were in my
Right.
yeah, it doesn't really matter because I don't even know how many people I was going against. I think it was 3 of us. And then I remember, after that, not having enough muscle, but going into bikini. And the bikini girls over there in Europe at the time, and kind of like the ones now, are not as muscular, or they want them to be a little bit smaller. And I think things change. Maybe it's not like that now, but I remember being small and shapeless, and I was just long and lanky, and I did bikini. And then my first NPC show, I've done one. I did one NPC show before getting my pro card, and then taking time off to just build. But the first NPC show was the Brooklyn Grand Prix when I came back to the US. And I probably should have just stuck to bikini.
Seen those pictures.
I want to see the rude boy wind it up. I want to see you wind on stage into a push-up.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Y'all gonna cut me off this show. Nah.
Yeah. Come on. I'm gonna post mine.
Because you have a background in gymnastics.
No, I don't. No, I do not.
Self-taught.
Really?
Mm-mm.
See, now that makes me feel even worse. You should have just said that you did have a background in gymnastics. Because I was self-taught and I was trash.
Self-taught.
Right, someone else go.
I'll go. Well, I started my journey in bikini for sure. And, I had a coach, and it was just funny because I remember, how right now, I get annoyed when people tell me, oh, I'm a competitor, I'm going to compete. I'm like, you're not a competitor. You don't know what it is to compete. You're not serious. I was totally that person. I looked the best in my group. I go into the gym. I had abs, obviously my ass was fat, like a fatty, good for Instagram, but definitely not good for the freaking stage. And I found that out when I stepped on my fat ass stage. Seriously, bro, I did bikini, and I'm like, get in there. When I get there, I'm like, wait, these girls are doing bikini. I'm looking at myself. I'm like, well, maybe, I'll make it. I might be good. Looking at my abs, look at their abs, look at their stuff. We obviously compare when we get there, especially when we find out who's in our category. I started with NSL, so it wasn't really a big show anyway. It was just me and another girl, and obviously I lost, which made me turn into the person that I am now, because I was like, yeah, I obviously didn't take this seriously. I did 60% of what I should have done, and I got like this. Girl, imagine when I get to 100%. And look what happened.
Yep.
Craziness.
You got pictures?
We know you got pictures.
You got pictures, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna post.
We all need to see them.
This is not the Larhana. This is before I knew that I was posing. So y'all can go ahead and laugh. I don't care, because I'll challenge any of y'all to a pose off right now.
I'm already gonna lose, so
it's a pose with me now. Don't look at me back there. Hell.
Oh my God.
Yo, posing. I'm thinking about the picture for posing. I had to do side chest. Like, it's not in Belgium we was doing.
I want to see the picture so bad.
I definitely do.
Nicole, you're up.
Okay, my first show experience. Okay, so my first show experience, I started off in figure. I saw the other divisions. Now, granted, did I have all the muscle that I have today? No, I was still a toothpick, but I had the structure. So I saw figure. I knew that's what I wanted. I knew that I didn't want to go into bikini. No offense to bikini, but I just like the structure of figure. There was more muscle. I thought I was going to need another year to put on a little bit of size, but my first person I was working with, Roxanne Edwards and Caprice Murray were my first coaches. And they were like, no, I mean, everybody starts somewhere. You might as well start now. So we just went right into a prep. My first show was in 2016, Victor Martinez Legends, which was his first show that he put on, which to this day, I technically still do not count. And I don't count it because it wasn't a national qualifier. So I just kind of looked at it as getting my feet wet to make sure this was what I really wanted to do. But as far as first, show experience, first prep experience, definitely not what I thought it was. I'm thinking like, okay, a little bit of diet, a little bit of workout. I will look amazing on stage. Cool. I had no idea the science that goes behind it. Granted, my prep then was a lot more simple versus everything now as I've evolved. But yeah, definitely not what I thought. I didn't know about this whole fast cardio thing. I didn't know about this whole drop in water thing. Like, I was like, okay, could have fooled me. But my first show experience, don't get me wrong, you couldn't tell me nothing. I was fit. I had some abs. I was still this small. But when I got backstage, mind you, it's my first show. I haven't been around other, I went to watch one bodybuilding show, which was the New York Pro, which really lit a fire. But I never, been backstage or anything like that with the other women, let alone being around actual bodybuilders like that. And when I tell you, I was getting psyched out back there. Oh man, I only went against two women, first of all. It was a really small show. And the only thing I could see or pay attention to, I was so blindsided, I just saw shoulders. And I'm like, I am not going to win this show. I'm like this big. I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know what I was thinking. Don't know what I was thinking. And then you got the other one. This is my fifth show. And this one, they're like, oh, I done competed about 7 times. And I'm like, oh God, yeah. I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know what the heck I'm doing here. And lo and behold, I get on stage. I stay in the center. I don't move, not one bit. I'm like, how is this happening? I'm like this freaking big. And then, of course, I win that show. But then this is how I knew I was just so blindsided and getting psyched out is because once I actually saw the photos of who I was up against, it was completely night and day. I might have been this small, but it was the illusion that I brought on stage versus what I was up against. But I knew I kind of had something there. I did enjoy the process, even though I was getting scared backstage, but it was like being back on stage again, just because my background was gymnastics and all-star cheerleading and dancing and fashion modeling, and knowing that I didn't get to do that anymore, it kind of brought some of that back.
Yeah.
Now, did the crowd go crazy when I was on stage for my posing? But if I show you what this posing was, I was not the poser that I am today. And I don't know what they were yelling at.
Let them know! Get it done. Get it done. Let's go. That's my girlfriend. Let's go. Beautiful. That's my daughter. Get that shit. Let's go. That's my baby. Let them know. Oh my God. Let's go. Let's go. Go, best friend. That's my best friend.
I was like some stiff legs.
Listen,
I don't know what that was.
It can't be worse than doing most muscular in heels or side chest.
Yeah. On stage, you could not tell me nothing. And I look at it today, I was like, girl, no, I don't know what you were thinking.
Still can't tell us nothing. Hell, couldn't tell me nothing then. I didn't know what I was doing. I know what I'm doing now. You still can't tell me shit.
Yeah, that part. I will be up there messed up posing with confidence.
Right, I'm accidentally get up there and do a wind it up for real. I might win. Shit, throw it in.
Oh my God.
But honestly, that might just set a trend, and everybody else is gonna start doing it because they're like, "Oh, they did that. She did that." Yo,
Purposely do something wrong if it starts trending.
man. And then, well, then when you break it down a little bit, because now if we're thinking about the first show experience, I've now been in 3 federations, right? So the first, like I said, the Belgian Physique Federation, then the WBFF, and now the IFBB, and they're all different. And my body has looked different in every one of them, which is good, right? This is what only matters now, right? But I remember in the WBFF, the posing was so different. So different. It was more so model-esque, and you got to do like all this, and I didn't know what I was doing. So I remember trying to be sexy on stage. It's hard to pretend to be sexy on stage when you don't feel sexy on stage and it shows. And I don't know what I was doing. I don't know what I was doing. But towards the end of my WBFF career, I was like, you know what? I got confident. I did 3 shows with them and I was confident, but I was like, this is not for me. And that's when we geared and we switched out, and I can see my progression with, in the IFBB growing and getting better. So hopefully I don't regress and go back to crappy posing. But again, shameless plug. Make sure you hire.
Go back to crappy posing because hello.
That's what I'm saying. Make sure, if you're listening to this, make sure you hire one of these 2 posing coaches here. We have Larhana and we have Zenobia. They're both posing coaches. So there's no reason as to why you wouldn't be going on stage looking good when you have these people at your disposal. I'm not a posing coach. I'm not going to pretend to be one. So we're just going to work on this. Would I change anything? Yeah, honestly, I wish I had more confidence at that time. I really wish I had more confidence because like you see it, but also you're up there, you're having fun. Even if you have the people who don't look the best, but have the most confidence on stage. And I admire that. So I was like, what if I had that? Maybe it would have made me stand out a little bit more. What would you guys have changed if you could change anything looking back?
I don't think I would have changed anything because me doing that 50% helped me get out all of the bullshit like in the beginning, like with my pre-warm-up shows to see if I actually wanted to do the sport. It's very rare, like for you to get on a journey and you to get to your destination ASAP. Person that I did 10 shows my very first year of competing. Ooh. Yeah. So 10 and 7 of them were bikini. So, just I wouldn't change anything. Just keep going. Just figure out if you like it or not. Get your feet wet and all. Because when you become a pro, get used to not winning. Only one person wins the show, and you're going up against everybody. Yeah. In the amateur division, you could win as many shows as you want to. Like literally, go do as many as you possibly can. Get your feet wet. Get out all the kinks before you become a pro. Because when you become a pro, it's a totally different level.
Yeah. What would you change, Z? Did she freeze?
Maybe she's a robot.
Maybe she's really thinking about. Is he?
She's thinking hard. Seriously. But I think, maybe if I would have taken it a little bit more seriously, I would have enjoyed, the after effect of the show.
Yeah.
Pretty mad, but it's like, how are you going to be mad when you had a donut like 4 days ago? You can't be mad.
Yeah.
Bro, like you're mad at yourself. You're not mad at the outcome. You're mad at yourself because you could have done better. That's it.
Well, let me ask you, when you had your diet, what was your diet like? Did you do your own diet?
No, I had a coach. I was with my same coach for the past 7 years. So Lala with Team Armor. I started with him with bikini, and then he got me, like, I was with him for the past 7 years, and we got to the Olympia together. So, just being consistent with the same coach, that coach figure out your body and figure out, everything that works for you and what doesn't work for you. That's another big thing, is that so many people, they switch coaches, within months to even know if that coach worked or not. And it's like, you didn't even give the coach a chance to see if the plan worked with you or not. Because one, are you being 100% honest? That's the first question. Are you being real with yourself? Because if you're not, how's your coach going to know if what they're doing is he or not?
Yeah, we actually had that conversation. My boyfriend and I actually had this conversation yesterday about coach hopping. You're in this for the long run. You know what I mean? Like, muscle does not grow overnight, and your coach doesn't know. You give them 3 or 4 months to learn your body, to get you in shape for a competition. It's not enough time. They got to see you when you're fluffy. They got to see you between you getting on stage and shedding off that whatever. They got to see you through those things. And I think, that's one thing where we should be more mindful of as well. And I think when we're thinking about diet, I think my first diet, I coached myself, right?
Really?
Yeah, girl. Yeah, it was trash. But my first diet, I got it off of, like, I think it was like simplyshredded.com.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And yeah. And I had a coach, but he didn't do my meal plan. He just did my, training, because we were training in some rinky-dink spot in Belgium. And food-wise, it was just me having to do my food by myself. And you'd learn your body, you know what I mean? And that's why I tell a lot of people to learn their own body and experiment. If you don't have money for a coach, see what works for you, see what, you know what I mean? Take the time out to learn. Is it fish? Is it chicken? Is it red meat? What works for you? And then you can be with your coach and talk to them about that stuff.
And even with your coach, you should be writing this stuff down and taking the data down, because how are you going to, like, don't just rely on your coach to know, like, yeah, your coach is going to know, but why are you not figuring this out?
Yes.
Like, what happens if you and your coach fall out? Okay, now your coach has all your shit, but you don't have nothing. Yes. Like, come on, learn with your coach. Learn your body with your coach. That's the best thing you could do for yourself ever. I promise you.
Yes.
So yeah, we were just talking about how, what we would change or wouldn't change about our first show experience. And we knew taking some time to think about it.
Yeah, my bad. Technical difficulties. My Wi-Fi is being weird today. Sorry, y'all.
But you look good, though.
But like I said, there's nothing that I would change. I think as far as my own actual experience myself that I can control, I think the only thing I think particularly was the show, and it was really weird being backstage, and I got just a lot of the girls really just didn't really talk too much. Or, I mean, I've never been a super talker to begin with, being backstage. But it was just kind of like an awkward, like,
not
like she is not effing with me. Okay, like, that's what it felt like backstage. Matter of fact, I didn't even stay with the girls backstage, because there was a room with just pretty much all the girls, and then there was just the bodybuilders, the guys, and I stayed in that room because I just felt more comfortable, and I just kind of just laid on the floor.
Dang.
It was weird back there. I was like, I don't know what's wrong with you girls, but okay. Because matter of fact, one of them came up to me and was like, you're not a bikini, are you? And I'm like, no. She's like, oh, okay. Okay.
You're scoping out the competition. You put fear in her heart.
On purpose.
Like, I ain't bikini.
I would have
You see
said,
these shoulders? They ain't huge, but they there.
I mean,
Girl,
everything.
a coach did that to me at my very first it was my second figure show. I was going up against his client. He came up to me, he's like, oh, are you doing bikini? And I was like, no, I'm doing figure. But he did that on purpose, you know, to try to throw me off. And that's the show that I won the overall. And he had like I want to say like 4 girls there that were in figure. Ha ha, I won. I still got that big old trophy with me and the sword.
Yeah.
And no, I'm not bikini.
No, I want a sword too, man. That's nice. That's
We working on it. We
funny.
working on it.
That's funny. Yeah, man.
Call me Belle. I'm Petty LaBelle.
But you're Petty LaBelle with a sword and a trophy.
Wop, Petty Wop.
And an Olympia jacket. So oh man. Oh man. Yeah. And then another thing of what we were talking about a little bit, Z, is diet. Like, did you do your first? I mean, you had a coach, so you didn't do your own diet.
My diet was funny.
Okay.
Before we even went into prep, so like it was kind of like the start dieting kind of thing, but we weren't like in prep yet. And my little improvement off season, whatever you want to call it, because it wasn't that much of time, but my diet never changed, and I still shredded.
Well,
I don't know.
yeah, I'm not like that.
I was like, funny how I wish I tried to do that little Houdini stunt now. That ain't gonna work.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm gaining weight. Shoot. I swear.
I was like, how did we not change this at all? Like, don't they usually change diets? So it still works.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, let me think. I'm thinking about the diet. I'm not gonna lie to you. Okay, so let's talk about what the federation that matters is prepping for that one NPC show. I had a coach, right, for that show. And I would train with him, and there was a CVS around the corner. So as soon as I would leave training, I'd run in and I'd get one of those little bags of chips. I get one of them Ruffles. I was like, I earned this. I would eat that. And that's my guilty pleasure with prep. It's not pizza. It's not, hamburgers. It's chips. Free, what is it called? Cheetos or the cheddar Ruffles. I like cheese. So I went and got a bag. That's what I did. And I was like, I'm working hard. I'm training. I'm doing my cardio. I can sacrifice and eat this.
Mm-hmm.
That's the show I didn't win.
It's them Ruffles.
Them Ruffles.
Had to be the Ruffles, because clearly it wasn't you.
Had to be the Ruffles, man. It had to be. I didn't win.
Oh, wow.
And I think there were 2 of us in my so I got second place. I got last place. But I was able to qualify for nationals, and I'm like, I'm not going to nationals if I get second place. If I get last place, that means I gotta, take the time, build, and then come back. And that's what we did. Hire a coach and hire a opposing coach and hire a real coach. If you don't take anything away from this, is don't do fitness if you can't teach yourself a routine. And hire yourself opposing coach as well as a real coach.
Seriously. Y'all, there's too much proper knowledge now and access for you to get in touch with people that have the right, knowledge to excel to where you want to be the first time around. You don't have to go through all of these hoops and stuff like we did. Because there's easy access for you to get in touch with anybody in America now in a half of a second. So utilize that. And if you guys want to share y'all's first time, y'all's first show experience, doesn't have to be the NPC, just your, first show experience in general, y'all can send us y'all's videos and we'll post those on our wall.
Yes.
Yeah. We would love to hear about them. Take about like at least a minute, and we'd love to be able to post those and shout you guys out. I'm definitely interested in hearing everyone's first show experiences.
Yeah, it can't be any worse than mine. On that note,
I'm gonna try, y'all. I'm gonna try to get them to post theirs too. I'm gonna send the video so y'all could.
Shoot. I ain't got no shame in my game. Nope, I was not the best poser. Not then.
I don't have videos, but I do have pictures. We'll we can do a little song.
Like a 5 seconds of that. Wind it up. Just the wind it up part. Just the wind it up.
Can you do a reenactment?
We got some technical difficulties. I can't even. That's exactly what I look like on stage.
And do a push-up with it.
On that note, y'all, it's been real. We
thank y'all so much for tuning in. Seriously, we will be back with y'all. Keep looking for our posts. Comment, like, share. Thank y'all so much for everything. And until next time, we will see y'all later.
Oh, wait 1 second.
Sorry, just kidding.
Do not forget that we have a seminar. Iron Alliance Gym and Beyond the Barbell presents Pose Down. That is May 27th in Minneapolis. Make sure that you register. It is for free. The only thing that you will have to pay a fee for is to use the gym or to be able to have access into the gym. So it is at a discounted rate. So make sure that you attend. You have more than enough time to save the date. And spots are limited. So register ASAP.
Until then, you guys, peace. Bye.